Welcome to your Daily Rec. I'm Jason X.
And I'm Kevin Graham.
And today we're going to do another recap and review, but this time we're going straight to the funny pages.
Oh!
Yeah.
We have not done this yet.
We have not done this. This is the first on this show.
At least like a detailed, in-depth review.
Review of a comic book.
Of literature?
Of literature.
Words on paper?
That's right.
Have we lost our goddamn mind?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
So, now, I say funny pages. This book ain't funny.
No, it was not funny.
There's no humor to this. We are recapping the widely popular, was extreme lead up into, and it's finally here, Doomsday Clock.
Right.
So for those of you that are not aware or who may not be comic book fans and may be familiar more with the movies, would be familiar with The Watchmen. They came out several years ago.
Yeah.
It was a 12-issue series by Alan Moore back in the 80s, and eventually it has become one of the most referred to comic books, more of a, not really independent, but not of the main superheroes.
Right. Highly regarded.
Highly regarded as terrific. So for those of you that don't know, this is the series that is going to take those characters and introduce them into the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, DC universe.
Right.
And this is the first issue of that step going into it. Now, just to kind of give them a little bit of background, I am a huge fan of The Watchmen.
I am not.
He is not. So for me to come out and say that you need to read this, being someone who did not like The Watchmen,
right?
I thought for sure that this would be something that you could appreciate going into.
And, you know, I'm not opposed to the idea of reading further and stuff, because even when I picked up The Watchmen the first time, you know, I think I got like maybe the first or second chapter in, and I was like, you know, this isn't really landing for me, but I stuck through it.
Right.
And I didn't like it overall. I wasn't a fan of the movie overall. But hey, maybe this would have done it for me. I still haven't gotten into it. It is only the first issue.
Okay.
And it seems like there was a lot of setting up going on. So I'm willing to accept that and continue reading on.
Okay.
So I'm not out.
He's not out yet.
I'm not out.
What I took this first issue as is almost as Jeff Johns, who is the writer, almost as a love letter to the fans of Watchmen.
Okay.
Basically saying, I'm not going to fuck this up.
Oh, okay.
That's what I took this first issue as.
It felt very similar in tone to the original series.
That was my main takeaway from this book. When you read The Watchmen, and you could probably get it from watching the movie, is there is this weight of impending doom and devastation, and you feel that in this book, right off the bat.
Yeah, and while reading it, because I remember you said that last week on our live episode. I remember you touching upon how there is a weight and there is sort of like this frantic feel throughout the issue, and I did get that. It did seem like there was something at stake. Yes, like they were trying to hurry up and accomplish some sort of goal. So when I read this, I did get the sense that they were trying to reintroduce not only those characters but the feel and sort of that like section of what was going on with DC and like touching upon a lot of like the things in the political climate. But it also kind of got right into what to expect.
Right, exactly. I think it did a real good job of setting it up. It introduced, and I think we'll just dive right into it, I guess, Rorschach.
Yes.
As a character who is dead.
Yes.
At the end of The Watchmen, you see him emerge.
Right.
In a prison. Right. Right about 3 hours before an atomic bomb is about to hit a city.
Right.
Or that we are told a bomb is
we
going
are to assume.
Assume, yes. However, not the same guy.
Not the same guy.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like I mean, I don't know. I guess I didn't really feel one way or the other. I was more or less trying to put it in my head of what's going to happen next with it. I think that there is going to be something with the reveal of who it is, because they kind of tease, like there's sort of like a teaser that like, oh, this isn't Rorschach,
right?
And he's like, but I am Rorschach,
right?
I didn't really like, I don't know, it didn't really like land with me as like a big thing yet.
Okay,
but I feel like it's going to be a big thing further down the road.
I think it's going to be, and this is my theory behind it. If you read the original Watchmen, or if you see the movie, and you may have picked up on this on the movie, more than one Night Owl.
Yes.
More than one Silk Spectre.
Right.
Of course there's going to be more than one Rorschach.
Sure, yeah.
Of course there will be another comedian introduced into this book, because those are the characters that will continue on, much like when... John Paul Valley takes over as Batman, or you have Dick Grayson stepping in as Batman, that sort of thing. The character, or the vigilante, I should say, is a better word for it, will always be there.
Yes.
Whoever's under the mask, however,
it's going to be different.
It will change.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I was like, okay, this is kind of sticking to that theme of we're keeping the vigilantiness alive without having the person actually be there. So I thought that was great. Now, what we also learn is Ozymandias, who was behind the big squid alien attack in the end of The Watchmen, or the Dr. Manhattan bomb, if you watch the movie, has been found out.
Yes.
Due to Rorschach's journal, which was at the end of the book, which I thought was great that they referenced that. And his plan had gone awry.
Yep.
So we are left that he is a wanted criminal, and that Rorschach, the new Rorschach, is working with him. He busts two new characters who we have not met before, out of prison, and then we are to learn what their mission, agenda.
They just want their kid back.
They want their kid back, which I'm assuming is going to lead them into the DC universe.
Okay.
Because it definitely seemed like a multi-dimensional story.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem like they are in the same timeline.
Right.
Especially because, and I don't know if you picked up on this, but the story that we are currently looking at take place in 1992.
Right, yeah, because the Watchmen originally took place in the 80s.
Right.
It was sort of a reflection of that time and everything that was going on, back then with Reagan.
Right.
And, yeah.
So, and then cut to, towards the end of the book, we're with Superman, who is having a nightmare.
Right.
He has never had a nightmare before.
Right.
Supposedly.
And
he has a nightmare of the prom night, which his parents get killed by a drunk driver, which was the origin story in the New 52.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that I was unfamiliar with. I figured that was just a new origin.
Right.
For whatever his continuity is at the time.
Yes.
But yeah, I was unaware that that's what happened.
That's what they're going
with.
with.
I accepted it and kind of figured, oh, okay, that's
what they're doing. Yeah. Right. Yes. And apparently when Superman has a nightmare, he floats. So.
Oh, okay.
Did you get that in the book?
Not really, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just like one of those things like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of left with that.
Yeah.
Like, there's not...
So, I feel like there's got to be some tie-in to the death of his parents with the Watchmen, maybe?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I think it's the idea that Superman has never had a nightmare before.
Right.
And now he's starting to have nightmares, is going to lead to somehow Dr. Manhattan trying to signal Superman.
Okay.
So, which is just pure speculation on my behalf. So, you didn't love it. It sounds like.
I did not love it.
I did not love it.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is going to be something that will become as iconic as The Watchmen?
As iconic? It's hard for me to say because I haven't really been in that comic book specific world for quite a while. I feel like in this day and age, it's very hard to sort of get on that level. So I don't know if it's going to be that big. as the original, I think it'll still be like a big event for DC,
right?
And be looked at as such. But like 20 years from now, I mean, I think it'll be referenced, but I don't know if it's going to be as highly regarded.
I see. This is my theory about it. I think regardless if it's good, if it's great, or if it sucks, it doesn't matter. And
I think that's good. Yeah.
And the reason for that is this will 100% always be a point in comic book history, as long as comic books don't go under, which depends on who you talk to. They might be on the verge. But this will always be a point that if my kids are into comics, or if their kids' are looking into comics, they will reference back to Doomsday Clock solely for the reason of what will happen after Doomsday Clock. Because after Doomsday Clock, Rorschach's getting his own book, Night Owl's getting his own book,
right?
Silk Spectre's getting their own book. There's going to have the team-up book.
Yep.
So if any one of those characters becomes more popular based off that, they will always reference, this is the moment they entered the DC universe.
Yeah.
So kudos to DC.
Yeah.
Because I think they're playing the long game.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do think that there is going to be some positive collateral effect that happens. And like you just pointed out, the popularity of this book could shot put individual characters having their own book, popping up in Batman more frequently, popping up in other comics more frequently, popping up in TV shows and movies.
You never know.
I mean, they are doing the Watchmen show on HBO.
They are. But that's going to be the old material.
That is going to be the old material. But, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll get a wild hair up their ass.
If you get another Rorschach Night Owl team-up and put that into its own book,
right,
I think you've got a hit series.
Okay.
Which, if that's the case, they get their own TV show, they get their own movie. On top of that, you're looking at just
franchising,
a greater value of this event that we are just in the beginning.
Yes.
Of so more to come.
More to come.
I would say thumbs up from me.
I'm not going to give it a thumb.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's still too early for me.
Okay.
I'll let you assholes decide for yourselves.
And if you want to write Kevin Graham some hate mail, you can do that on our Facebook at Brainwreck Show.
Yes, or send us an email with your hate, brainwreckshow@gmail.com.
And if you do want us to do more comic book stuff, please let us know. We'll be able to do that more in the Daily Rec. But for this Daily Rec, I've been Jason X.
And I've been Kevin Graham.
And this has been your Daily Rec.